Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Like I keep telling you guys, we are in the era of the unwokening. Pendulum is shifting like never before, and I am incredibly glad to report that a lot of the things that we have been talking about seem to be finally materializing. Ever since the first day where it was revealed that Elon Musk had bought 9.2% just at the idea, not that Elon Musk was going to take over the entire platform, but just the idea that Elon Musk might even be implicated in the company's decision-making, might be part of the board, and that the company might be moving towards the direction of free speech. Just at the idea, at the speculation that this might happen, Twitter stock surged. And while woke companies like Netflix and others continue to crash and burn, showing basically the worst performance out of any major tech-related stock, well, it seems as though a lot of companies and a lot of CEOs are looking at what's going on with Elon Musk. They're looking at the fearlessness, tackling on the woke mob without a care in the world, and probably telling themselves, well, you know what? Maybe we should be doing the exact same thing. We cover the reports of Elon Musk planning to fire 1,000 employees at Netflix in a change of direction. Most of these individuals probably the green-haired gender studies lefty authoritarian types. Well, once again, it seems as though Elon Musk is a trendsetter, as Netflix seems to be unwoking itself with a very blunt message to the woke green-haired liberals that if you're offended by free speech, then you can essentially take a hike, as the company seems to be having a dramatic shift in culture after this massive market wake-up call that they've undergone. We are in some very exciting times, folks. The cultural pendulum is finally shifting. Woke Twitter leftoids seem to be losing their power at an astonishing rate. We got some stuff to talk about. But of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at this right over here. Netflix shares blunt message to woke employees offended by its content. Netflix may not be the best place for you. Netflix is taking a hardline stance against woke employees who advocate for silencing artists whose content offends them. The news comes after Netflix disclosed a dismal business performance in the first quarter of 2022. The company, in fact, lost 200,000 subscribers between January and March, the first subscriber decline in more than a decade. The company had expected a net gain of 2.5 million subscribers over that period, so essentially missing their mark by 2.7 million. The streaming platform updated its famous corporate culture memo to include a section on artistic expression, Variety reported. The memo vows Netflix will not cancel artists even if Netflix employees find the content objectionable or, quote, harmful. Not everyone will like or agree with everything on our service, the memo reads. While every title is different, we approach them based on the same set of principles. We support the artistic expression of the creators we choose to work with program for a diversity of audiences and tastes, and we let viewers decide what's appropriate for them versus having Netflix censor specific artists or voices. Wow, the revelation of a century, that we as adults and individual human beings don't need corporations like Netflix to censor content for us, and that we can do it ourselves, and that we're old enough and mature enough to make our own damn decisions. The memo adds that if employees cannot support Netflix's work, they should hit the road and find another job. As employees, we support the principle that Netflix offers a diversity of stories, even if we find some titles counter to our own personal values. Depending on your role, you may need to work on titles you perceive to be harmful, the memo states. If you find it hard to support our content, Netflix may not be the best place for you, the memo advises. Finally, issuing the message that they should have issued a while ago, that if you're a woke little snowflake who can't handle different ideas, or can't handle jokes at your expense or at a community that you purport to represent, well then no one cares, pack your bags, and go write woke freelance articles at BuzzFeed News or the Huffington Post. Oh wait, both of those woke news organizations went out of business, and that's exactly the point. Is it any surprise that these companies are unwoking themselves? Like I've been saying for years, the only thing that's going to cause this shift is money. Once these companies start realizing that being woke is seriously bad for business, once they start to realize that they're losing millions if not billions of dollars in potential profits or market value, then that is going to be the final wake-up call. For some reason, companies have been convinced that this woke nonsense is going to be good for business. They've committed to it for years at this point, probably telling themselves we're not seeing the benefit just yet, but don't worry, it's coming, don't worry, we're going to change society. And it took nearly a decade for them to realize that they might actually be on the wrong side of history. And finally, the cultural shift is happening, and it even seems seems as lefties are starting to realize this. I mean, Bill Maher has been going after this woke crowd forever, but even leftist thought leaders and leftist content creators are starting to get sick of the left's perspective on free speech. Here's left-wing content creator Shoeonhead writing, "These people act like words themselves are forbidden and poisonous. This is why episodes from Always Sunny, for example, are being pulled off of streaming sites. Even if it's a critique of the bad thing, it doesn't matter. All context be damned." I like the first sentence. These people act as if words themselves are forbidden and poisonous. Exactly, they're words. Literal words. Weird mouth movements that create friction in sound waves that travel through the atmosphere, and lefties view words as existential threats to their entire existence. It's so overly dramatic, it's just theater. Like lefties are always saying on certain debates, dramatic leftist outrage, always claiming that these words and this rhetoric is literally putting people's lives at risk, just like they do with everything they don't like. Florida's HB 1557, the Parental Rights and Education Bill protecting children, lefty activists claiming you're putting these children's lives at risk. How? It's pure partisan hyperbole. What it really is the authoritarian nature of these leftist activists. They just want to censor you. They want you not to exist. It's nothing but a power trip. But what they're starting to learn, I think, is that in order to power trip, you need to be in a position of power to begin with. And when you're such a fringe minority, and over 50% of you guys are probably unemployed, not exactly powerful people in society, you're a fringe minority, and you hold no societal, cultural, or financial weight, well then you're pretty much first on the chopping block. Once your bad ideas and bad policies and bad decisions start to lead to massive losses in profits for all of these corporations, the unwokening begins. It's not just happening at Netflix. Of course, we know it's happening at Twitter, and now it's actually starting to take effect and take action. Senior Twitter staff fired in, quote, change of direction ahead of Elon Musk's takeover. Elon Musk hasn't even fully taken over the platform, but the writing is on the wall, and they're already starting to fire major executives and probably starting to slash entire departments dedicated to nothing but woke garbage and partisan politics, because they might as well get ahead of it. Because as I stated, they are first on the chopping block once Elon Musk takes over. Wokeism is failing. Wokeism has failed. It's been a real interesting little experiment. You know what? You had fun, leftoids. I would never act like them and say that they should be banned for their terrible ideas. I support your little cultural experiment. You had fun. You proved to the world that 16 to 21-year-olds with bad ideas in college and high school shouldn't be running the world or the world of business. And you know what? If culture starts to shift at the end, I'm gonna view this whole thing as honestly good for society. You wokies truly woke people up in the exact opposite way that you intended, and I'd say that's probably a good thing for society. It was a fun little experiment, fun while it lasted. The memes were absolutely incredible, but now I think it's time to get back to real life and not this ridiculous woke fantasy that California liberals have been living in. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize exactly that. That's what I got for you guys though. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share it as much as possible. We're still shadow banned with the YouTube algorithm. I'm gonna get back to work though. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.